I want to tell you an important story. It's about a family I know, a community I'm a part of, a river I love, Yellowstone River. Four generations of the Anderson family have walked, worked, and fished near the Yellowstone. Daniel Anderson is a part of that family. He grew up on that ranch. Daniel's a good guy, and he'll make an excellent guide for our story.
I mean, put yourself in that position. It's about as good as it gets. And you're just there. I mean, right there with Grandpa Andy. I mean, as an 8-year-old, he was captivating. And he took me up this old logging road on the ranch. We drive through some aspen groves, get into a clearing. We get out of the truck, and he does pop the tailgate down and sits down, so I just take his lead, you know. And he said, "All right, Daniel, so I brought you here for a reason. Well, let's count the lights down the valley." So, okay, counting and just looking, and he's like, "All right, well, come back in 20 years and do it again." And at the time, I didn't really understand what he was getting at, but I could tell by his tone, I could tell by how composed he was, and it was no more being joking and all that. It was just all of his aura. It was just like, this is something really important that I want to share with you. You can see it. You can definitely see it coming.
Rivers are collectives, the sum of seeps, springs, and creeks. They do one thing, move downhill. But the basic force of water following gravity gets pretty complicated. You know, fluid dynamics, riparian ecosystems, crowded weekend boat ramps. Communities are a lot like rivers. But of course, the bends, rapids, and eddies of communities, of families, aren't simple.
When I was 8 years old, I certainly was not concerned about the valley. I do worry about it now.
Daniel worries because the Yellowstone River is staring down some trouble. On land that drains into the river, a Canadian company hopes to mine one of the drainages on the east side of Paradise Valley, just north of Yellowstone National Park. Gold mines bring toxic heavy metals, nasty stuff that leaks into groundwater or spills into creeks. This river has already seen enough. Last summer, the parasite killed tens of thousands of fish on the Stone. Low flows and high water temperatures made the parasite to bloom in unprecedented numbers. Dead whitefish floated everywhere, circling around eddies, pinned against gravel bars. It wasn't pretty. The summers get hotter. More people move to the valley and use the river. This ecosystem won't fare well under a flood of toxic waste. But Daniel knows people. People who love this river, this valley. People working hard to make a living and protect the water that shapes their lives.
Tom Miner Creek is a special spot, and that's where I first started fishing. Tom Miner Creek gave me one of the first lessons in connectivity. It connects to the Yellowstone, but it actually starts somewhere too. And it flows through the landscape and it all gets connected eventually. And that's when it started. And Tom Miner Creek taught me that.
Millions of people, literally millions of people a year, come to this valley and to this location to enjoy the natural beauty, and that's worth preserving. We don't want to mess that up. Fishing the Yellowstone River, when you think of Southwest Montana, classic fishing, the Yellowstone River is one of the top locations that comes to mind. There are times when things line up just right, and I'm fortunate to be in a place where I can just put the close sign on the door and go.
Yeah, look, I've dealt with the folks in Paradise Valley. I've never met with a group that has worked more in lockstep than this group has. There's no naysayers in this group. There's Democrats in this group. There's Republicans in this group. There's independents in this group. There's Trump supporters in this group. There's Bernie supporters in this group. And they all said no. And that's a beautiful thing. Because when you can get that kind of consensus, you know you're doing the right thing.
Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke recently endorsed another temporary stop on mining around Yellowstone, putting the issue off for 20 years. But just ask Daniel. Time passes fast. 2 decades isn't enough. People of Paradise Valley, Senator Tester, and all the rest of us who love the river's water and trout, we want a permanent solution now. For Daniel, it all started and it will all end on Grandpa Andy's ranch.
The challenges that Paradise Valley and the Yellowstone River are faced with are challenges that pose opportunity. But how beautiful of a challenge is it when it binds people? Because it is an ever-expanding community, whether we want it to be or not. It is.
Yeah, and I like the word that you used as far as expanding community, because it's not just one group, it's all of us. It's everyone that lives here and recreates here, that cares about this place.
Protect this ecosystem, protect this river, protect the opportunity for future generations to be able to fish and hunt on the Yellowstone River. That's what this is about.
It needs to be permanent, because if it starts, then where does it stop?
Yeah, 20 years is not enough.
Last call, Bill.
The Yellowstone River is one of the last of the great undammed rivers in the U.S. But this story still needs an ending. You heard the man, his last call.